Right now at 9, breaking news out of Northeast Oklahoma following a shooting at a Memorial Day festival. We'll have the latest. Plus, a shooting at a St. Louis area grocery store leaves 3 people injured. And
President Joe Biden pays his respects to the victims of the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. I'm Jeff Paul in Uvalde, Texas. I've got the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. We begin with breaking news tonight out of Northeast Oklahoma. 1 person is dead and at least 7 others injured following a shooting at a Memorial Day festival. The shooting happened in the small community of Taft just after midnight. Taft is in Muskogee County, just west of Muskogee, Oklahoma. According to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, 1 person was killed and at least 7 others injured. 2 of those were minors. Witnesses say they heard at least 40 shots fired. The OSBI says the investigation is continuing and no arrests have been made. Staying in Northeast Oklahoma, breaking news out of Disney, where the Grand River Dam Authority police are searching for a missing boater. Officials there say they are searching a large area of Grand Lake for 48-year-old Troy Young of Bixby. GRDA police say they were notified Young was missing around 8 a.m. Saturday morning and that Young was last seen around 10:30 Friday night. Officers recovered Young's boat near the entrance of Ketchum Cove, about a mile and a half from Cedar Port. Authorities are asking any boaters in the area to be mindful of the search efforts, and anyone with information is asked to call the GRDA police. Police say 3 people were shot outside a grocery store in North St. Louis County on Friday. Reporter Robert Townsend has that story.
In broad daylight, the parking lot at Wellston Market turned into a violent battleground. Police say just before 3 Friday afternoon, a man walked inside the store with an AR-15 style rifle in a sling and possibly under his shirt. They tell us the man did not threaten anyone, but several shoppers were alarmed after seeing the semi-automatic weapon. Moments later, when he stepped outside, police say another man armed with a gun confronted the rifle carrier and demanded his weapon. The man gave up his rifle, walked to his vehicle, and then grabbed another gun as the robber walked away. Investigators say the 2 men got into a shootout. More than a dozen bullets flew, hitting 2 women there to shop and shattering car windows in the market's parking lot. The man with the rifle took off. Incredibly, the gunfire wasn't over. Police say another man then shot the suspected robber as he lay on the ground. This is the same North County store where in June of 2019, 40-year-old North County Police Cooperative Officer Michael Langsdorf was shot and killed while investigating a bad check incident.
And again, that was Robert Townsend reporting. Wichita Police Department responded to a shooting at the banquet hall on East 25th Street during a large graduation party. Officials say that's where they found 17-year-old Boise Bearfield shot. He later died at a hospital. Police say during the party there was a disturbance between 2 groups that led up to shots being fired, striking Boise. A 15-year-old female victim who was fleeing the business during all of this was hit by a car at the intersection of 25th Street North and Estelle. That driver was identified as 18-year-old Samara Rockmore, who fled the scene in her vehicle. 15-year-old victim was transported to an area hospital where she later died from her injuries. Rockmore, the driver, was later located and arrested and booked for felony hit and run. Police say the investigation is ongoing. Another nice, very warm day across the area today. Nick Kelly joining us.
Certainly right about that, Chris. And we're being treated, or were treated rather, to a pretty nice looking sunset not too long ago. But 71 this morning, a little warmer than I expected, and touching near 90, but topping out officially at 89 at Joplin Regional this afternoon. We got partly to mostly sunny skies pretty much the entire day, but you can see how we've got our next cold front eager to head our way. But this won't start playing a role in our forecast until we get after the holiday weekend. So our Memorial Day tomorrow, we'll keep it dry, we'll keep it breezy out of the south of 15 to 25 during the day. And we're going to keep it warm, 70 in the morning, 80 by noon, and pushing back near 85 for tomorrow afternoon. But once we do get past our warm and dry Memorial Day, we are going to see rain chances with that front returning by Tuesday, and bringing a drop in temperatures as we get June started this week, Chris. So a lot to go over in the full weather. We'll do that here in a few.
Boy, a drop in temperatures for June. That sounds interesting, Nick. Thank you. Well, the Mount Hope Christian Church of Christ hosted a potluck this afternoon. At the event, they had a homemade ice cream competition with 3 entries. Homemade cookies and cream won today. The goal of the potluck is to increase fellowship in the community and among its members.
What I hope is the people who are maybe a little new get to feel more comfortable with everybody else, maybe get to know some of the people that, if you sit on different sides of the auditorium, get to know people you don't talk to every Sunday, and hopefully get a chance for people to feel like they can contribute, even if it's in a small way.
Of course, Mount Hope is located at 2830 Mount Hope Road in Webb City. The Stott City Country Roads Family Fun Farm is closing out their spring season. To wrap things up, they're celebrating by getting things ready for the summer by planting sunflowers that are going to bloom in July. Families had the chance to go and have hay rides, create crafts, and interact with animals ranging from sheep to cows.
Obviously, some of our customers become like family. I've got a crew over here that has been, I think, the last 2 years off and on, and so we learn their names. We know them by name, sometimes first and last, and when they come in, they feel like family. It feels like they've come to a family's yard.
The Family Fun Farm will reopen on July 3rd. Well, motocross fans and riders have been waiting for Memorial Day weekend and the Battle of the Borders Outdoor MX Series at 4-State Motocross Complex in Newton County. This is the inaugural season and the first MX Series event. This is also their grand opening. September and October, they're going to hold 2 more events. The Missouri State MX Series will be the 24th and 25th of September, and the Bonnie and Clyde Shootout will take place October 15th and 16th. President Biden and the First Lady joined the mourning community in Uvalde, Texas Sunday. Fox News correspondent Jeff Paul has more on how the couple paid their respects.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden made the somber trip to Uvalde, Texas Sunday, paying their respects to the victims and mourning with the community following the devastating school shooting at Robb Elementary this past week.
A lot of hurting hearts everywhere, whether it's at the church or the school or here. I think it's good that he came to express his sympathy for the community, and I believe the community appreciates that as well. This is a time to come together and set differences aside.
The pair visited the makeshift memorial set up by the community in front of Robb Elementary School before attending Mass at the Sacred Heart Catholic Church.
Do something! Do something!
The Bidens were met with cheers from the crowd of community members, along with a call to action. President Biden has not made any formal announcement on how he plans to combat the rise of these tragedies in the United States, but urged Americans to stand with him to make America safer during his speech at the University of Delaware Saturday.
To far too many places where innocents have died. In the face of such destructive forces, we have to stand stronger. We must stand stronger. We cannot outlaw tragedy, I know, but we can make America safer.
After growing frustration and anger from the community here in Uvalde, the mayor is now calling on the Department of Justice to review its investigation. The Department of Justice has agreed to do so and will make those findings public. In Uvalde, Texas, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
We take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Private Jack Grant served in the Army from 1954 to 56. His hometown, Joplin. We're proud to recognize Private Jack Grant, tonight's 4-state hero. And of course, if you'd like to learn more about our other heroes or nominate one of your own, you can do that at any time at KOAMNewsNow.com. After the forecast, why having dogs around your kids when they're young may be beneficial to their gut health.
We had another pretty quiet day overall, but like yesterday, where some of us had to wake up with some isolated showers and a couple of storms, Mother Nature tried to do that very same thing again this morning before we got that out of here and dealt with just partly to mostly sunny skies during the day. A close-up view of how our day has unfolded shows again the very few isolated showers, maybe a random thunderstorm or two, mainly west of 69, but you saw how they just pretty much fell apart as they tried to work deeper into the region. But everybody pretty much was dry for this Sunday, and temperatures continue to warm up with that quiet sky overall and that good south wind we had today. We had lower 80s yesterday, lower 70s this morning, pushing near 90 for this afternoon. That's just from Joplin. Everybody pretty much fared the same way. We had some upper 60s to lower 70s this morning. Around lunchtime, the noon hour, we had lower to middle 80s all across the board, and we all topped out in the upper 80s and certainly some spots flirting with that 90-degree mark today. I don't think we're going to be as warm for our Memorial Day, but we are still going to keep warm for the holiday proper tomorrow. Wider picture does show better shots for storms staying to our north and northwest during the rest of the night, but this incoming cold front and upper level energy, all this is going to eventually play a role in our forecast, but again, not until we get past a quiet and a warm and dry Memorial Day. Let's look at our future track forecast for the rest of the night. We'll just continue to bounce back and forth between mostly clear and partly cloudy skies overnight. Lows mild again, right back near 70 degrees. Then we'll just deal with partly sunny skies. I think everybody's dry during the morning, and certainly everybody's dry as we get into the upcoming afternoon. So even though we're dry, even though we're looking good for our Memorial Day tomorrow, that south wind's going to stay up there at 10 to 20 in the morning and then increase to 15 to 25 during the course of the day. That'll take us from 70 in the morning, 80 by noon, afternoon highs are 85, and then we'll gravitate back near 80 by the time we get tomorrow evening underway. I think overall we're quiet going into Monday night and early Tuesday morning, but ahead of the front, I would not be surprised if we had a stray shower or storm clip our far northwestern counties, but the better shot for thunderstorms with this incoming front won't fire up until we get into Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, and going deep into Tuesday night, potentially early Wednesday morning. And not only that, this has the potential to bring some severe weather our way. So for now, we've got a low to elevated severe threat, mainly northwest of Interstate 44. But anytime between 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon to 2 a.m. Wednesday, that's when we'll have to keep a sharp eye out for strong to severe storms, with, I think, hail and heavy rain being our biggest issues, but we can't rule out some high wind gusts and some heavy rainfall along with that as well. So for now, we'll make Tuesday an alert day for the potential for severe weather, but again, we're dry for Memorial Day, looking good for tomorrow, highs are 85. 84 Tuesday. Behind the front, we've got lower to middle 70s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to kick off the month of June, Chris. But lingering rain chances means it could be kind of a wet start to the month of June as well.
Yeah, it certainly looks like a potentially active week ahead. And I know, of course, you and Doug and Michael are going to stay on top of that for us.
Yeah, not only on the severe threat, but maybe it's a potentially heavy rainfall. We'll see how much rain we can see by Wednesday morning when we come back for second weather later.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. Well, coming up, how using the wrong antibiotics in the wrong situations with children could lead to higher health care prices. Take a look at this. We show this to you often, and it's for a very good reason. This is our tower cam of the towers, sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction. This is as work continues on the KOAM More Power project. It's a huge deal here. It's why we keep telling you about it. If you want more information, you can go to KOAMnewsnow.com/power. Well, having dogs around your kids when they're young not only helps their gut feelings about animals, it actually helps your kids' real gut too. Some researchers from a university in Toronto say exposure to dogs when kids are between 5 and 15 is beneficial for their gut health. The team studied the data of almost 4,300 families with various illness. They found having canines near gave them a better microbial balance in the gut region and helps lower their chances of Crohn's disease, which affects nearly 500,000 people in the U.S. Well, the wrong use of antibiotics on children in the wrong settings could lead to higher health care prices. A study by Washington University says antibiotic medication wrongfully given to children out of hospitals can increase health care costs. The team found children given the wrong medication outside a hospital were 8 times more likely to get skin rashes or diarrhea, and also had a higher risk for life-threatening intestinal infections. Researchers say these wrong prescriptions led to an additional $74 million in health care costs. California Governor Gavin Newsom has become the latest high-profile politician to test positive for COVID-19. Newsom's office says the Democrat will be in isolation until at least next Thursday, June the 2nd. Governor will be working remotely until he is out of quarantine. His press office says he is experiencing mild symptoms, adding that he is fully vaccinated against COVID-19, including 2 booster shots, with the last one a week and a half ago. Press office says the governor has received a prescription for Paxlovid from Pfizer and is beginning a 5-day treatment regimen. The FDA is investigating an outbreak of hepatitis A in 3 states that is potentially linked to organic strawberries. Federal health officials say there have been 17 hepatitis A cases reported as part of the outbreak in California, Minnesota, and North Dakota. The vaccine-preventable liver infection has resulted in 12 hospitalizations so far. The brands involved are Fresh Campo and H-E-B and were sold at Aldi, Kroger, Safeway, Sprouts, Trader Joe's, and Walmart, among a few other stores. Most of the illnesses were reported between March 28th to April 30th, but hepatitis A symptoms can last up to 2 months. If consumers purchased or froze any of the strawberries, the FDA says they should be thrown away. Still ahead, as Americans begin to make the return to the office, some retailers are beginning to see a boost. As more Americans stop working from home and begin coming into the office, some retailers are seeing a boost in sales. The stores seeing the biggest boost in profits are those that attract shoppers with a high income, places like Ulta Beauty, Macy's, and Urban Outfitters. They've all reported that luxury shopping is trending upwards, with Macy's chief executive officer even saying, quote, "The luxury customer is back in a big way." A global wheat shortage could worsen as a Middle East country joins the list of problem growers. Iraqi farmers face bleak prospects for good wheat harvest this year, and wheat growers must deal with a government decision to cut back water access. Irrigation water is cut 50% due to sandstorms, temperatures, drought, climate change, and neighboring countries accessing water. Less water means smaller grain size and fewer crop yields. Production could drop from over 6 million tons to 2.5 million tons. Iraq joins Ukraine and India as countries seeing their wheat production falter this year. A recent video from Apple's HR department is discouraging Apple employees from joining unions. The video from Apple's head of retail and human relations discussed rights of retail employees to join unions and the downsides. It suggested employees should seek out opinions about working under a collective negotiation. Video also says Apple is responsive to employees, but a union would make it harder for corporate leaders to address concerns. Apple is facing employee retail unionization attempts in New York City at an Atlanta area mall store and in Towson, Maryland. Memorial Day weekend travel is producing headaches already and threatening return travelers on Monday flights. Airlines began piling up cancellations of flights, about 1,500 of them shortly before 10 p.m. Saturday, and that follows 2,300 cancellations on Friday. Delta hit the worst with 250 flights canceled, and Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International was hit with delays. The problems also come as demand for flights continued to rise despite inflation and domestic flights averaging $400 per round trip. Mountain Dew goes back to its roots with a new outdoor sporting approach. The company is adding an interesting twist this summer. From June 4th to June 12th, Mountain Dew is taking charge of the Adventure Center in Tennessee's Doe Mountain and will provide free passes for visitors. The soda company will host activities like scavenger hunts, bird tours, archery tournaments, and even an outpost ranger. You can find out more information by going to mtndewoutpost.com. We're going to wrap up this half hour of News at 9 with what could be a boom or a bust in the skies Monday night. Astronomers are forecasting a chance of a spectacular meteor storm late Monday night or early Tuesday morning. The night sky on Memorial Day could be lit up by as many as 1,000 shooting stars in an hour or it could be a complete dud. Astronomers are hoping what they call the Tau Herculid meteor shower will be something extra special this year. That's because its parent comet has been disintegrating, which Space.com says could result in an otherworldly light show. Some astronomers say the meteor storm, if it occurs, could even last an hour or two. NASA's Meteoroid Environment Office says the peak may be around 1 a.m. Tuesday and should be visible high in the sky over North America. That is, if the heavens cooperate. And of course, you know, for our area, it's if the weather cooperates, and Nick said earlier, should be cooperating. We'll see how that looks. We've got 30 more minutes of news, more of Nick's weather and sports coming your way. Up first, Elizabeth Holmes has asked a judge to overturn her convictions on wire fraud charges, and why Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi's husband was allegedly arrested this weekend. Welcome back. The former biotechnology entrepreneur Elizabeth Holmes has asked a judge to overturn her convictions on wire fraud charges. Her lawyers say, based on the evidence, no rational juror could have voted to convict her. In a 24-page filing, lawyers for the founder of the healthcare technology company known as Theranos said the evidence provided did not justify a guilty verdict. Holmes is scheduled to be sentenced on September 26, with each of the charges carrying a maximum prison term of 20 years. She's also been fined $250,000. Holmes' downfall was the subject of the television miniseries The Dropout. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi's husband was reportedly arrested for a DUI this weekend. TMZ reported on Sunday that Paul Pelosi was arrested in Napa County, California, just before midnight on Saturday. He was booked on 2 counts of misdemeanors, driving under the influence and driving with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. A beautiful day out on the water takes a terrifying turn when a boat with 17 people on board explodes. This happened at a marina in Seneca, Illinois, about 75 miles southwest of Chicago. Flames engulfed the boat on Saturday afternoon, sending thick black smoke into the air. 13 people were taken to local hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries, while a 14th person had to be airlifted due to their critical condition. It's unclear at this time what sparked that fire. Police in Tennessee say 6 people were shot during an exchange of gunfire near the Tennessee Aquarium in downtown Chattanooga on Saturday night. 2 of the victims suffered life-threatening injuries. Most of the victims are believed to be teenagers and young adults. Police say large groups of juveniles were walking around the downtown area unchaperoned at the time of the shooting. Authorities say at least 1 person of interest was detained but has been ruled out as a suspect. The NYPD reports 10 people were hospitalized in a stampede early Sunday at the Barclays Center. Loud noises set off an active shooter scare after the Gervonta Davis-Rolando Romero boxing match around 1 a.m. A New York police investigation found there was no shooting at the Barclays Center, just what they called a sound disturbance. 4-time tennis Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka tweeted that she was petrified when she saw people shouting and running. Osaka says she made it out okay and hoped that everyone else did as well. Rolling to Remember is making its return to the National Mall this Memorial Day weekend. The event brings thousands of bikers together in remembrance of fallen troops and to raise awareness about the troubles still faced by those who transition to civilian life after serving our country. Asia Hasning is in Washington with more.
Thousands of riders from across the country came to the nation's capital and made a thunderous show of support for our country's veterans. The 36th annual Rolling to Remember ride is so massive it shuts down the entire area around the National Mall. These riders are calling attention to our prisoners of war and the 82,000 missing service members. This year, they're also raising awareness for veteran suicides, the COVID lockdowns only making matters worse. And they're also calling to attention toxic exposure from those burn pits used in Iraq and Afghanistan. Comedian and veteran advocate Jon Stewart was speaking about that at a rally.
Do not tell me that you don't have the money to keep a promise that you made to the veterans. If we as a country can't take care of the people that take care of us, then we don't have much of a country.
Overall, people here want to remind Americans as they spend time with their families this weekend to not forget that this is a somber holiday. War has a cost, and to really reflect on the sacrifices made by our servicemen and women.
What Rolling to Remember is, this is not a celebration. It is exactly what it says. It's a memory of those that we have lost that gave the ultimate sacrifice to this country.
And I spoke to a woman named Faith who came here all the way from North Dakota. Her family is full of veterans, and she told me her kids actually bought her a plane ticket for Christmas. It just shows how important this is to so many people to see it here in person. In Washington, I'm Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
A little later, we caught up with Niecy Nash, who shares the best parts of hosting Fox's Don't Forget the Lyrics.
As advertised, our warm front that passed through this morning and today did the job to keep us quite warm. In fact, we'll break down temperatures in a few seconds, but along the way, it also tried to bring in some upper level energy, get it to work together, and it did, believe it or not, try to produce some scattered showers, even a couple of thunderstorms, mainly west of US 59. Again, it was only during the early morning hours. They fell apart as we got past sunrise. Then everybody was treated to a dry day under partly to mostly sunny skies, and temperatures continued the warming trend with that setup still in place. We had lower 80s the other day, dropping back to 71 at Joplin. Everyone else was in the upper 60s to lower 70s this morning, flirting with the 90-degree mark. I did see a couple 90-degree readings at Joplin Regional, but the official high so far is 89. But everybody was quite warm, with most of us in the mid to upper 80s. And it won't be until late tonight that we can drop back near 70 for a little bit of a break from this warmth. However, I still think we're dry for tonight and for Memorial Day, while we keep an eye on thunderstorms across the northern plains and a couple of storms out in western Oklahoma firing up ahead of a dry line. This dry line at the surface, that will not play a role in our forecast, but the cold front certainly will as it starts working in on Tuesday, along with quite a bit of upper level energy. We've got not just one wave, but a couple more lining up, all wanting to have a role to play in our forecast. So let's see if they can with our future track forecast over the next 48 hours or so. We're dry again for the night. You can see how a couple of storms could try to still fire up across central Kansas ahead of that dry line, but I think any of that stays north and west of the region. We're dry for the morning, and I think we're dry during much of the day tomorrow, with partly to mostly sunny skies. Some cooler air aloft means it's not going to be as warm as some of that air gets trying to mix down to the surface. Still doesn't change the fact that it's going to be a warm Memorial Day, but again, at least we're keeping it dry this time around. 70 in the morning with the south wind at 10 to 20. Once it picks up at 15 to 25 with gusts near 30, if not over 30 at times. We'll go to 80 by noon, and afternoon highs right around 85. We're dry for Monday night, but by Tuesday morning, ahead of the advancing cold front, any dying storms could try to make a run for our far northwestern counties, maybe a random shower or two with that. Much of the day Tuesday looks dry, but here's 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. That cold front wants to spark scattered, more numerous showers and thunderstorms, and really wanting to unleash on the rain as we go into Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. That could certainly be a severe setup with a low to elevated severe threat north and west of Interstate 44. We'll watch those storms between 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon until 2 a.m. Wednesday. Hail, heavy rain, high wind. I think that will be the biggest issues. And speaking of that heavy rainfall, we may not see much through Tuesday morning, but depending on how the rain chances play out, we could see rain amounts anywhere from ½ an inch to maybe as much as 2 to 3 inches, depending on how the heavy rain sets up and tracks across much of the area. But then once get beyond the system, this westerly flow of the jet stream means we'll just see more waves riding along the jet, and you can see how it will just keep on bringing rain and thunderstorm chances in and out of the area as we go through much of next week. 85 tomorrow, 84 for Tuesday, and as we get June started, Chris, we could have highs in the lower to middle 70s before we head back near 81 by next Sunday.
It's kind of crazy to think that we are starting to get into June and we still are hovering around these upper 70s, even lower 70 temperatures.
Hey, I'm not complaining about that.
That's true. It could be a lot worse come this time of year. Nick, thank you so much. Well, coming up in sports, the Crowder Rough Riders hit the field in Grand Junction for the opening round of the JUCO World Series. Plus, the national champions are welcomed home to Pittsburgh. We're going to hear from the team next.
The Pitt State men sent 15 athletes to compete in this weekend's NCAA Division II Outdoor Track and Field Championships. The Gorillas return as national champions. The Pitt State squad received a warm welcome this evening after capturing the program's second national title and first in outdoor. Lewis Rollins and Braylon Brewer led the way for the Gorillas, winning individual titles in their events. The Gorilla men also tallied more than 20 All-American performances. This caps off a tremendous season for Pitt State.
You couldn't script it up any better than this. I mean, we did the Triple Crown, MIAA, cross country, indoor, outdoor, and to cap it off with an outdoor national championship. This is, I'm lost for words for what we've accomplished in this group that we have, and amazing young men, and for me to be able to lead these young men to achieve such an accomplishment is a blessing.
They were gorillas this weekend, meaning they got the ball rolling, they got the fire started, and Lewis Rollins, and what they got going in the 4x1, just outstanding. And once you get that train going, these guys know how to finish, and that's exactly what they did this weekend.
The Crowder Rough Riders are in action today in the opening round of the JUCO World Series in Grand Junction. The Rough Riders have earned the 5 seed in the tournament. Crowder faces Central Arizona after a long mid-game rain delay. Central Arizona ties it in the top of the 9th. Then in extras, Adamo Storneo smashes a walk-off home run. Rough Riders win 5-4. Crowder will play again on Tuesday. The Columbus Titans finished the 2022 season as the Class 3A state runner-up, the best finish in program history. The Titans played for the state championship on Friday, falling to Wichita Collegiate 10-3. They end the season with a 22-3 overall record. The Titans lose 2 seniors.
You know, Jackson and Jake, they missed that one COVID year, but they've worked hard. Jackson, he's done a great job in the infield and, hitting, being leadoff spot. Jake, he comes in, he's been a good reliever, coming in and throw some games. He had like 4 wins this year. I'm going to miss them both. We all will. And, you hate to see those seniors have to go, but, that's the way it is.
The Frontenac Raiders won the Class 3A state tournament this weekend. It's their 3rd state title since 2016. Their most recent was in 2019. This year, Frontenac took down Santa Fe Trail and Prairie View on Friday to claim the title. Pitcher Avery Johnson played a big role in the team's success.
AJ, she's a rock star. We've worked a lot here this season, just understanding what her role is and helping her learn to trust her defense because it is so good behind her. And, we're lucky to have her. We're happy to have her. And, I think everybody here is proud of her, and I hope she's proud of herself because she's made great gains this season, not just with strikeouts and things like that, but the mental part of the game, too.
This weekend also marked the start of the state tournament for Missouri girls soccer. Carl Junction hosted Glendale in the quarterfinal round. The Bulldogs fell 4-0, finishing with a 21-6 record. They graduate 7 seniors, including 4 that played on varsity all 4 years.
Those 4 have been playing since they've been little kids together and travel around playing club teams and going to Springfield and playing together, so it's a really good nucleus for us. They came in as freshmen, and at that situation would allow them to come in and start as freshmen. We've got some people with a lot of playing time this year, varsity experience this year, and I think they're going to slide right in and, pick up where they left off, we hope.
That's a look at sports. We're back after this.
Fox's Don't Forget the Lyrics allows contestants to show off their singing and musical knowledge. We caught up with Niecy Nash, who shares the best parts of hosting this show, how she still plays at home, and how exciting it is to hand out all that money. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Hit it! Sing along Monday nights to the music of Don't Forget the Lyrics on Fox with host and executive producer Niecy Nash. On the game show Revival, contestants test their musical memory for the chance to win $1 million.
It's a nail biter for me too, to stand there and wonder if these people are going to get the lyrics right. You want them to win all this money. They have very interesting stories and very interesting journeys, And then the other thing is that I get to go to work every day with my better half because she's a part of my band. So I got to flirt while I was at work.
Her wife, Jessica Betts, is in the band, and there's much music at home. But Nash says it doesn't mean she's an expert at this game.
I'm married to a musician. There's live music in this house every single day, and every single day I get the lyrics wrong.
She does enjoy playing along on stage or at home.
Sometimes you forget because there's so much excitement in the room. So even when I watch back at home, I'm playing along.
And Nisi says she just loves the concept of the game and how rewarding it is in those winning moments.
These are things we do driving to work or in the shower. And it's just like the idea that you could win life-changing money by doing what you already know, that to me is mind-blowing. And the thing that I love about it is when, you know, people are really deserving and they get that big money. You know, I have tears in the corner of my eyes, you know what I mean? I'm like, we'll be right back.
Lock in those lyrics.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, still to come, people across London are decorating and preparing to celebrate Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. Well, people across London are decorating and preparing to celebrate Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. Starting this Thursday, people across Britain will honor the Queen as she marks 70 years on the throne. A number of events are going to be held at Buckingham Palace across a 4-day period to celebrate the 96-year-old's reign. Among the events planned are a birthday parade, a Platinum Jubilee pageant, and a special concert that will include performances by Elton John, Sir Rod Stewart, Duran Duran, Diana Ross, and Alicia Keys, among a number of others. Well, the man with the most tattoos in the world is adding more. The Guinness World Record holder for most tattooed squares on a human body, Matt Gahn, has added to his record. Gahn set the record in 2014 with 848 tattooed squares. Now he's added 20 to 30 more squares in the form of flags. He says he got the idea for squares from his childhood by seeing squares everywhere, and he's always wanted to look this way. Gahn even has his entire tongue tattooed.
How many times did he have to go under the needle? I
Oh,
can't imagine the pain in
my
the stomach to go through that.
Gosh, I don't like shots. I can't imagine sitting through all of those tattoos and to that extreme that he is tattooed. That is insanity. That's terrifying. Yeah. Something that we're going to have tattooed into. We're not tattooing anything today, but our forecast looks pretty good.
Yeah, not as frightening compared to what we just witnessed.
Not at all.
Especially our Memorial Day. It's going to be mild for tonight with lows back near 70. Less cooler air aloft means that as it mixes down, it's not going to be quite as warm as it was today, but still we'll push highs near 85. It's just going to be a dry and warm day and a breezy one too with that south wind of 15 to 25. Beyond the holiday, we'll watch for our next good cold front with better thunderstorm chances and a potential severe threat for Tuesday. That's why we have the alert day up with highs near 84. Then behind that front, Chris, rain chances take us through at least the start of the month of June. And we'll keep highs in the 70s.
Perfect weather to get out, honor our veterans tomorrow, and then keep an eye on the rest of the week as we head back to work.
Absolutely.
And in some cases, school. Nick, thank you so much. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Thanks for making us part of your night.